All right. So yesterday we discussed few things. We started test ng. For that we went to pom.xml. So we had the first dependency. Okay. Tell me what is dependency, guys.
which basically supports uh, supporting like jar files.
Yeah. Downloading the external jar files which are not available in the JDK. Let's say if we want to download testng, we have to give the maven dependence. Okay. This is the first thing we did. Second thing we added help Eclipse market space. Here we added what? Test ng plugin. Right? Did you guys did this? No, yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if you have done, it should be in the installed section. Please do look into it. Okay. Wait a second. Okay. Let me click here. So it will take a second. It will put a search. If you have already installed, it will be in the install section. If not, it will be in the search section. Then you have to search basically test ng. Okay. Give it a second. Let it load. So here I would have done installed yesterday we have seen. It will be in the installed screen. Okay. If you have opened the Eclipse the first time or the marketplace for the first time, it will check basically all the artifacts. You can see some would have been downloaded here. See test ng for Eclipse. What this actually does, you can actually run the test from here. For example, if you want to right click and run this one test ng will come here. And also you can see we have got Maven and all. So yesterday, if you remember, one more thing we did, we went to Apache Maven. We downloaded like this, Apache Maven download. Since our laptop is 64-bit, I went here and I downloaded the bin.zip file. Okay, this also you can download. Let me click here. If I click, it will download again, right? Okay, no need. So this is the, you can go to this website. Why Maven is needed? I'll tell you in a second. Okay. This is Maven plugin or Maven command line to get the path. Okay. Yesterday we did this also. So one thing what I missed yesterday was adding this. So in order to run the files through command line means opening command prompt, running it, you have to add this property. You have to make sure the Maven compiler release you have to give, and you have to give UTF-8 version. And also this you have to add. What it means? The Maven Surfire plugin will be there, but as soon as you open the command line, right? So here you can see right click, it is showing run as testng, right? Or Maven. How it is coming, guys? You Eclipse is an IDE, so we can easily install any other things from marketplace. But when you go to command line, when you go to command prompt, right, you have to come from the basics. So for that, we have to make sure in our project this is there. Sapphire plugin, and also whatever the version you want, it is just like a dependency. And also I'm giving a text ng.xml to make sure I can also run test ng XML file. That we'll see later today. Till this point, you understood, guys? Till this point, yesterday I didn't explain you guys this. You have to add a property, and you have to also add a build thing in pom.xml. Yeah, go on.
Sir, TechNG is the additional feature that we are installing for Eclipse.
Yeah, TestNG is a testing framework which we are installing for running our tests, basically how we saw here. So if you give at the rate test, this program doesn't have a main method, right? So previously till yesterday, we were running all the programs in the main method. So even without the main method, we can do by using annotations, which is at the rate test, at the rate before class. Those all annotations we'll see today. To run this, we need to install a testing framework or a test ng plugin, which is basically this. So if you can see run configuration, we can see test ng test. So this becomes a test script and we can run this. So test ng basically we are installing for testing purposes so that we can segregate the tests and we can get the reports. Here you can also see test output will be generated for each and every run, and also we can have a report like this. So if you have run n number of things, so I did run today. So basically it is giving me all the reports. Okay, forget about it. So everything will be visible. Like if you click on it, it will go to summary, back to summary, etc. All the things which we ran, what is the start time, what is the end time, etc. Okay. So yesterday I couldn't do Maven run. So first thing what you have to do, you have to go to this test ng orange HR. You have to go to this particular folder. To go to this particular folder, guys, you can go here, properties, just copy till this orange test ng orange HR. Okay, Control C. You can just write CD, paste it here. Click on it, you'll enter the project. Now, if you want to run all the tests in this particular test folder, you just have to give a single command mvn test. Click on enter. It will directly recognize mvn test. So it will start. So it will run. So, okay. What is the Surfire report we have? Okay. Clear CLS. Okay. So we have to make sure the same test is there here. So, so let me remove these classes. Okay. So let me just add our class name, first stng class. Okay. And also let me remove this also. Okay. So basically, so the testing.xml. So entire run will run on this testng.xml. Now let me go here. Let me run mvn test. Let's see whether we can run it or not. So it ran. See, the test was like this only. We were just comparing Rahul with Rahul and we're giving a simple soft assertion. And here we got the result also. So both are equal. Let me do it here like this. It should fail. So here we got one test run and it is always pass. So let me run once again. It should be a failure. See, it's a failure. So one failure expected. Is it visible on the screen, guys? Rahul to Rahul. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is what we saw yesterday. So till yesterday's topic, everyone are good?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just I revised because I think few of the people didn't come yesterday because of Christmas, right? Yesterday I just revised based on. Okay, let me go back. Let me put all the things. Okay, good. Now let me go back to our PDF file. Let me stop presenting. So let me know till what point you have taken the notes yesterday. So did you take all these notes? Priority, group tests. Did you take all these notes, guys? Test in the attributes and all.
Sir, till soft assertion example.
Okay,
uh,
soft assist example. Okay. If I go back,
Number 10, sir. Yes, soft.
so only till this part, right? Okay. So just write hard assertions. Okay, and also write this all attributes. This the attributes will take the entire class today. Don't worry. Just write hard assertions versus soft assertions, and just write test ng attributes at the red test. And also we'll see what are all the annotations, how the annotations will work, and all. Okay. So let me know when you're done. Also write the example too.
Sir, little up, sir.
Okay. Shall I go more up?
No, yeah. Little up, little up. Hard.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Also, guys, I have shared the interview questions. So these are all the questions you have asked. Only the Java one. Okay. So I haven't shared with you the Selenium one because Selenium is still ongoing, right? So just when you get time, go through that. And I think there will be mock on Java based on the interview questions. Try to read all those things, try to practice programs, try to learn the theory also. It will be really helpful for you. Okay. It's kind of 200 pages. If we just sit on a weekend, I think you'll be easily completing it. So learning Java is one thing, Java and Selenium. Cracking the interviews are the thing. Unless until you practice it, it will be very tough for you. Okay. Let's see, the mock will be there. I think the date is not yet finalized, or maybe Baswana sir might tell on that. But yeah, so maybe you'll have maybe 2 or 3 weeks to prepare. Let's see how it goes. Okay. Any doubts? If you have any doubts, let me know. Also, let me also share the pom.xml. I'll share the pom.xml. You can copy my pom.xml to run through command line. Try that also, guys. Try this pom.xml file. And also test ng also I'll have to give you. So whatever test you want to run, you have to enter those particular tests. Then only it will work. Okay. Yeah, go on, Radha.
Sir, is this test-ng is a part of Selenium?
Okay. Wait. So your question is valid. Let me stop. Stop share. Let me share my. Okay, if you guys have confusion, what is test-ng, what is Selenium? Okay. Let me share my screen. Okay. So let us see this test. Okay. Or maybe let me go previously, all the tests here. Selenium program. Okay. So this is Selenium WebDriver. So the entirely we call Selenium as Selenium WebDriver. What exactly is this? This Selenium WebDriver gives all these methods. Whenever you see the Maven dependencies, you should be able to see all these dependencies. Let's see, Selenium Chrome driver, Selenium Dev tool, Selenium Edge driver. Okay, this WebDriver comes with this tool Selenium. Everything comes with Selenium. Okay. So when you're writing this WebDriver Chrome driver, it comes from the dependency of Selenium. Okay. So this log.info is nothing but a logger file which we are creating by another dependency. If you see here, there should be log4j dependency. Somewhere it should be there. Let me expand this. So Jackson core is nothing but from JSON files dependency. POM.py.xml is from Excel dependency. Go on. So somewhere it should be there. This is also a dependency which is not there in Java. So we installed this as Maven dependency. Now, so this is Selenium. Selenium also needs a framework. When you say framework, so when you right click here, for Selenium Java, so we wrote everything in the main method, right? See here, right click, run as Java application. You can see here Java application. Yes or no, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this means we are running with traditional Java. And JVM or execution starts from main method. Even though we are using Selenium, we are using a main method. Now, forget this, fast forward to today. Okay. This is the project which I'm using, test-ng orange HRM. What is test-ng? Test-ng is a plugin or a testing framework which we use to do n number of activities. For example, we can log reports. When I say report, emailable report. So when you run any test case, you should be able to see this. Open with browser. So what you have run. So this is like previously I have run Smoke Suite. Today I'll try to complete regression suite everything. So we can segregate. You guys know, right? Smoke test, regression test. Have you guys learned with manual testing? Okay. So when you know this, TestNG, we can manipulate everything. So TestNG will give reporting, and it is also helpful in testng.xml where I can create my own suites. This I'll explain in a second. Don't worry about it, but just wanted to give you guys an understanding. We can manipulate which test I want to run. Now, since this I have not created it, I'll create now. If I'm creating a testng class, can you see a main method here?
No, sir.
No, right? But still we are able to run because of this annotation. At the rate test, at the rate before class, after class, everything are there. That we'll see one by one today. So basically, TestNG is a testing framework which we are incorporating in our project to make our testing more efficient. Okay, got the difference? Selenium WebDriver, TestNG, Java.
Sir, but
Hmm.
when it comes to other applications like BlueJ, there we can execute the Java programs even without main also, right?
BlueJ. I don't know what is BlueJ. Is it like Eclipse IDE?
It is also one of the application to execute the Java programs and all.
Okay. So in order to execute Java programs, the file should be .java extension. Okay. Any .java file should be executed, but if you execute this file with Java C file name.java, it won't be executed because here main method is not there. Okay. So any file, any ID you take, any program you take, if it has .java, it should have a class, it should have a class name, and it should have a main method to execute. If it's not there, it won't execute. So only in Selenium, when we are introducing TestNG, this kind of behavior we can see. Based on annotations, we can run it.
Okay. And one more last query, sir.
Yeah, ask me 10. No.
Whereas in the Selenium, we
Hmm.
have launched the Chrome,
Yes, yes,
and we can work with the other browsers also.
yes. We can work with Edge, we can work with Firefox. Sure, we can do all those things. Don't worry. I'll explain all those things by we can do cross-browser testing, same test to execute in Chrome, same test to execute in Edge, everything we can do.
Okay, fine. Thank you, sir.
Okay, more questions?
Sir, one thing. So
Yeah.
in basic, normally we are writing Java program, right? So
Hmm.
their main method from main method compiler will get to know. So this is the starting point of execution. So here
Yes.
basically at like annotation is done at test. So
Hmm.
here basically that will act as a starting point of execution, right?
Yes. So this here dictates what TestNG takes. Okay. Here we are executing again whichever test we want, and here annotation states what to execute. So here it gives at the rate test, right? There are many annotations. Okay. Okay. Let me stop the share. Let me show you the annotation again. Okay. Let me share the screen. So this is the flow chart. Okay. See. So annotations where we are having this is the at the rate test, unit test. So we can use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. After test, before test, everything we can use. So before suite, before test, before class, before, this is the mode of execution. So if you give before suite, this will be the first to execute. Before suite. If you give before test, whatever unit test is there, before that it will execute. This one, now I'll explain what exactly it is. So in Java, it will start with main, but in TestNG, when we convert in TestNG test, the particular Java file, it is based on the annotation which we can run. For example, let us see one example. Okay, let me stop the share. I thought I'll explain this probably, but since your guys are asking the doubts, let me share my screen. Okay, now you can see the screen, right? For example, let me add one more annotation. Okay, public public void setup, something like that. Okay, and I want this to execute before I check the Rahul and no. Okay, so what I'll do before test, whatever it's there, no, I'll use that only. Maybe I'll use before test. Now this should have a proper annotation. Either it should have wait, expand this test, or I'll put dot star. Here I'll write okay, just log in log dot test. I'll add it here. We are in before test. Okay, so we are in before test. Okay, I want something to execute after this. Okay, what I'll do, I'll copy this, I'll paste it here, I'll write instead of setup or something setup once, some other method name. Okay, I'll write here after test. After test. Now I'll write here we are in after test. Okay, see here, I'll do what? Right click, run as test-ng test. You see the logger file. Let me expand this. It passed. You see, we are in before test, then test executed. Both are equal. We are in after test. Understood, Rajesh?
Yes, sir.
We can manipulate the entire program based on the annotations. So whichever you want to execute. Okay, let me put this down. So first, this got executed because this annotation supersedes the test annotation. So after test executes after the test. See, first this one got executed, then login test executed, both are equal, then we are in after test. Understood, guys?
Yes, sir. One more thing. Can we have multiple tests and multiple before test? Like
Yeah,
that?
we can have.
We
can
can
have.
have.
So
Okay, sir.
if we have before test multiple, okay, that we shouldn't, but let's see. So let me put like testing one, setup two, something like that. No, there is an error. What is error? So tell me one thing. Does it
Sir,
make sense
sir,
to have before test? But there is a there is a bracket here. Okay. Now let me write before test one, before test two. We don't know which will execute. Okay. Then we can give few more things, which I thought I'll test. I'll tell you in a second, but that's okay. I'll explain. I'll explain it now. So let us give this as a priority. Priority equal to, let me give one. Okay. Let me over here. Uh, before test change to always run. Wait, can I give priority here? Is priority only available for test? I think priority is only available for the test. Okay, fine. So let's see. Let me run it. Right click, run as test and test. Let's see if you have failures or not. Okay, it passed. So it executed setup before test one, Before test 2, it executed. Then it executed this one. Then it executed login test. Then it executed both are equal. Then we are in after test. Okay. But tell me, does it make sense why to have more methods? We can create more tests, but why to have a before test unless and until it's a absolutely necessary for all the tests? Okay. When you say before test, and let's say if you have one more test, right? Let me create one more test here. Here I'm checking for validate. Some other method. Okay. Here instead of Rahul, let me check Rajesh. Rajesh. Now, this before test should execute before every test, right? Let me run. Yeah, test in the test. See. So two runs to it is calculated based on at the rate test. So this is a particular test case. So we have two test cases. So that's why we got two pass. Now see here. Before test 2, before test 1, login executed, both are equal. So this executed, but does it make sense to have this twice? It's
No, sir.
okay. So let's keep one. Just for you understanding, we can manipulate the test based on the annotation. Understood?
Yes, keep.
Till this point, okay. If I
Sir, I
stop,
have a doubt. 1
yeah,
second. So the before test, if you are giving that annotation after test of method also, it will execute first only.
so everything is surrounded to the test annotation. Okay, test means a test case. So if you go here, see when it says pass to test run to, it says two test blocks have been executed. So think this as a center of think this is a sun. Okay, everything revolves this. Before test will execute before this running. After test will execute after all the at the rate tests are done. Okay, so
Yes, sir.
if
But,
yeah,
but I'm asking that wherever we place that annotation, even after the test, does it
yeah,
matter
yeah.
or
Position doesn't matter. Position doesn't matter. Yeah, good. Okay,
and
see.
for the both the test methods, I think we have given priority as one. So which one will it take us first priority?
Then it is based on that position. We should not give priority 1, we should give priority 2. Okay, now
So
see the
give
position here.
priority one for the second test.
Oh yeah, sure. Let's give one priority for second test, this one priority 2 for the first test. Now this should execute one. So instead of validate test, I'll write this. Okay, now before test I gave it down after the test, but still before test should run in the first. Run as test ng test. Let's see. Now, see, we are in test. So before test executed first, then validate test executed because we gave priority as 1. Okay. Then login test executed, we gave priority as 2.
Okay, sir.
Understood, guys? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Sealed out? Okay.
So if we have one annotation as test, we can give n number of test cases within that method.
So one method will have one annotation only. We can
So
call other methods.
Okay, sir. Under test, we should run every methods.
And so method will have an annotation. So we'll not call method now, since we are doing everything test ng, we'll call it as a test case or test script. This is one single test script, and also the logs will be saved here. If you go here, see, it would have been added here. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let me stop this share. Any more doubts, guys, before I'm stopping the share?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, go on.
Those methods can be accessible even in the another classes, as we learned in the previous classes.
Yeah, it will be. But execution will have occur based on test. So if you're asking this, let us take one more class. Okay. Let me write. Okay. Test engine, no? Class test extends. Okay. 1 second, guys. Okay. See, I'm extending a test ng class. Okay. Now, what is the concept of extension? So what and all methods are there should be extended. Okay. Unless and until I have to create an object. So let me create an object. Further, do we need a main method?
Yes.
Right? So I'm taking a main method. Okay. Now, if we are taking a main method, what is the concept of test ng test? But that's all right. So let me create a test t equal to new test. So t dot login is there, right? Now, if I run this, so test ng test will come. If you want to run configuration, you can maybe put this. No need for test ng. Jerry. So if you're converting to test ng, what is the use of a main? If you're using a main, it should come as a run configuration. If it's not in a run configuration, then we have to execute the JRE. But it should not be a called then will not call as a test ng test. It will be a basic Java program. But we can inherit all the methods. It should be there. Okay. But what is the use? Like I want to run a specific test case only. No. So now you will not understand this one. When I write it properly, you might understand. Okay. For example, let me delete this. Okay, Radhika. Let me tell you a concept that you will understand. Okay. So let me write before test, before everything, right? I want to launch a Chrome driver. Let's say launch a Chrome driver. Okay. Here I'll take one test or two tests, whatever it is. Here I will not execute this. I'll tell log.info. Let me put this as priority one. Let me tell like this one as validating dashboard. Here I'll take the same, maybe only this part. I'll just take validating admin screen. And then after test, I'll tell closing the driver, something like that. Okay. Okay. Now, you understood the concept, right? I'm launching Chrome driver. I'm validating the dashboard screen. I'm validating at this screen. I'm logging off and I'm closing the driver or closing the Chrome. Okay. Now, if I execute this based on the annotation, it will execute. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, if I inherit this class, what is the use of my test script? I can inherit like class test extends. And if I use main method, again, I have to use main method here, which is not taken as a test now. And I can use test t equal to new test. Now, I can call, again, I have to see the order. I have to call the setup, then only my test case will pass. No, first I have to call the setup. Then I have to call another test while logging. If I change the order, will my test case pass? Okay, you guys are not getting right. Okay. Okay, let me show you one simple scenario where you can guys understand it properly. Very simple test. Okay, guys, very simple. Before test, after test scenario, let me explain it properly for you guys, or maybe clearly for you guys to understand. Okay, let me write in the before test till this point. Okay. Okay, good. Only the maximize and also driver dot manage dot timeouts dot implicit weight of duration of seconds. Duration of seconds. I'll give 10 seconds. It is an implicit dynamic weight, so it is not an issue. Now, here what I'm doing, I'm just getting the current screen and the URL. As simple as that. Okay, this is my only test case. Now, okay, let me put the driver here, web driver. Now, let me put this as static. Okay, so change the class. It should be web driver. So driver becomes a static. So now here, this is a static variable. It should be accessible in non-static methods if it's a static one. Okay. If you did give without the static, it should be accessible in a static method, but non-static methods, you have to be a global variable. Now, here, if I'm giving current URL, here I'm just logging the log.info. Title is title. Okay, I'm just getting the title, that's enough. Okay. So let me put this here. Okay, this is the only test case I have. Now, can I use after test as driver.quit? Where is my test? Okay. So can I use like this? Copy. Yeah, go on. Some doubts you guys ask. Okay. Now you tell me, if I extend this class, should I always call the setup in the first one, then the login one? Maybe we can change to test method. Then instead of setup, I'll put quit method. So I should call in order, no? Right?
Yes, sir.
If I extend this, if I don't call in an order, will my test case pass?
No.
Right? Okay. Just let me run this. Run as test engine test. So now it launches the browser. It does all its activities. See, admin 123, it closed. See, the test case got passed or not. So no test for nothing was run. Why nothing was run? Oh, okay. Good. Again, I have to make sure testing.xml has properly added. Let me do one thing. Let me remove this. Let me save this somewhere else. Okay. Let me save this somewhere else. Here I have to give what is our test case name. Okay. Okay. So if I run this now, run as the application. So now it executes our test. Logged in, admin 123. It types and it closes. It will not. That's all right, because we have not given the enter the value, just maximizing something like that. That's it. If I maximize it, so one test case passed and see maximize screen, title is orange HRM, login successful, test ran successfully. So if I inherit this method, okay, inherit this class test extends this one. So main method again. Without the main method, we cannot create an object. Can we create an object outside? So test t equal to new test. Can we create an object like this? What it becomes? Okay. So t dot, is it working properly?
No.
Okay. Then we need to create inside the main method. So then also we have to call properly. Setup t dot, what is the next one? T dot test method, then quit. T dot test method, then t dot quit. Okay. Now, if I change, quit is not there. Oh, quit. Okay. Throws declaration. Good. So if I change this one to here, will my script work?
No, sir.
Okay. This is what I wanted to explain. Since I wrote it like a string value, log.info, you guys were not getting. So now you got it right. So everything before running all the tests will launch the browser. So any test which we use will launch the browser, right? So once our test everything is done, we'll close the browser, log out, right? Can I put that in after test and before test? Is it easy to understand? Proper annotation.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anyone else has got the doubt, guys? Understood? No, not understood.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Yeah, go on.
So why are we using testing.xml file? Because anyway,
Yes.
it's going to recognize the test annotation before and after. So why do we need that file?
Yes. Okay, good question. So here, this is basically used to specify our test. Okay, for example, let me create another test. Okay, now let me copy this. Okay, let me paste it. Okay, let me run this like this. Now, what is the issue? No issue, right? Okay. So I don't want this class. Okay, I'll just quit it. Save this. Here also, I'll try to save this. Now, I want to run these two tests. Okay. Tell me how I can run parallel these two tests.
We can't run parallelly. We should run everything manually. And then
Should run like this, right? We should run the one by one. Once it completes, then we can run like that. Okay. So I'll tell you one more mechanism. Okay. So here, if I just write here, paste it, testing class 2. Okay. And if I go to the command line, okay, is my command line visible, right? It's very small. Okay. So if I write just mvn test, I should expand this. I should be able to expand it. Okay, let me check how to expand command prompt, right? Command prompt in Windows. Right click on the title bar, right click on the title bar. So properties. Okay, font. Okay. I hope this should be okay. This is okay, right?
yes, sir.
Okay, now you just see what I'm trying to do here. It's very easy. One simple command I have to do, it will run. Now, okay. Just searching for that command. See here. So I just have to write D sir fire. So this is a command I've already put in the file. Sweet XML file equal to test ng.xml. Okay, let me expand this, minimize this. If I just click on enter, so now it starts here, right? You see here down, it should be able to launch the Chrome browsers. See one, expanded, it runs, and also two. Two test cases are running parallelly. So don't you think testing that XML is easier? And also the it should have logged here also. Wait, we'll see in a second. 10:30, 10:30. See, it ran twice. Yes or no?
Testing that XML is needed only when we are running it in command prompt, right?
testng.xml. No. Here also we can run. See, right click, run as testng suite. It will launch the browser from here also. One. Let me minimize. C2. From here also we can run.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Understood? Any more doubts, guys? See here, the testng class, the testng2 class, both added. Okay, here where you giving what the test name, which class to run. We can run 10 classes. Now we can put groupings, which are smoke suites, which are regression suite, everything we can do it. Okay, till this point, any doubts, guys? Have you got? Are you guys understanding? Easy. Any more doubts, guys? I want you to ask doubts. Dedicating today's class to test NG so that Saturday, Sunday, Monday we'll write. We'll have proper framework with the test NG, Orange HRM, Log4j, and also we'll have utility classes. What and all we have discussed here. If you remember, we have added like utility classes, tests and all. Everything we'll see. It should be like proper framework. And we'll also see Cucumber in future. We'll have a data-driven framework with TestNG, with Excel, reading the username credentials from there, etc. And also we'll have objects. You guys remember? We did XPath, we did the CSS selector. Guys remember? Forgot already?
No, sir.
Remember? So till this point, any doubts, guys? I want you to ask doubts. Because it's a new concept, I know. Every day is new, right? So I want you to ask doubts. Any doubts you guys have in TestNG?
So can you go to the first test NG that program?
First TestNG program, okay. This one, okay?
Scroll up, sir.
Yeah, I'm scrolling. Yeah, go on.
So here, WebDriver is a static one.
Hmm.
So public void setup, it is not a static method, no? Then how we are calling that?
So when you say it's a static, can static variables access in a non-static method?
Static variables can be accessed in a static methods.
Non-static can we access?
I don't think so.
Okay, let's see. So let us create a simple. Okay, let me create a simple class. Stat, non-stat. Okay, finish. Now here we are creating a simple static int I equal to 1. Okay. Now if I put void display can I execute this? I should have. For execution, I need a main method, right? Main method. So now I can call sysout of I here and directly print it. But if I want to call this method, then I have to create an object. So let's say stat node stat ds equal to new stat node stat s dot display. Now I should get this 1 and 1. Okay, let me go here, right click. Expand it 1 and 1. Okay, so static are like home people. Okay, so these guys are like outsiders. When outsiders want to adopt someone in the home itself, they can have an access. But for outsiders to access in the class, they need an object.
So non-static methods can access static variables.
Yeah, non-static methods can access static variables. Also, non-static methods can also access non-static, but it should be the local variable. So let's say if I have like int I equal to 5 here, if I print this value I, now It will be local variable. So this is a non-static. Whenever you declare a static, no, just below the class, it's just like a global variable. So this variable can be accessed entirely in the class.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes. But for that, if I is declared as non-static, so while we are accessing it in the main method, we have to create a object, right?
Yes. If it's a non-static, okay, here we have to I is not accessed. Okay. Here we have to create an object. Then only this I will be accessed. If I put like this, here enter, then this should be s dot I.
Okay. So
Okay.
got it. Yeah. Thank you.
Any more doubts, guys? Okay. Just we went to a nostalgia of a Java program. That's totally fine. So this is before test, at the rate test, and after test. Okay. So we have n number of things. Let me explain that. So I think we have done till. I'll just give you the concept of groups, guys. So for that we need. There is something called groups. I'll show you just in a second. Once we are done with that, I think we can wind up for the day. Just try to hold up with me. So, okay, let me go to our testing XML. Let me go back. Okay. Now, here you can see I have added smoke suite and also a regression suite, and I have given grouping test only as an example. Here also I'll give the same thing. Okay, let me copy this. Let me give it here. Okay, I'll create a simple class. I'll just give the name as Orange HRM grouping test. Now, let me show you manually what I'm trying to do. Let me go here. Source. So, admin and admin123 is a username and password, so that we'll give in before class or after class, whatever it is. Okay. And then if I click on admin, so I should be able to see admin. If I click on PIM, I should be able to see PIM. I'm just validating, guys. If I click on leave, I should be seeing the leave. Okay. If I click on dashboard, I should be able to see dashboard. Then I'll close the browser. So this is my manual test. Understood? Want me to explain again? I'll explain again. So my browser should do admin 123. This will come in before class or after, before test, whatever annotation we can use. So since we are using one test case, we'll use before test. So I will put two smoke cases, two smoke tests. One smoke test is click on admin, admin should appear. Click on dashboard, dashboard should appear. I'll write three regression tests like PIM. If I click on PIM should appear. If I click on leave, leave should appear. If I click on time, time should appear. Now, I can manipulate my test based on smoke suite and regression suite. As you can see here, I have already created a testing XML where I am segregating with smoke, segregating with regression, segregating the complete suite. If you give this like com test orange, the entire class, it will run irrespective of the grouping. Now, you see what is the grouping here. Okay, let's see in our class we have two groups, right? Let's say boys can be one group, girls can be one group, right? So let's say boys are in the smoke suite, girls are in the regression suite, and our QA circle we can be like this, the entire Java program, entire Java class. So this can be regression can be a girls group, smoke can be a guys group. At least till this point, understood, guys? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Wait. So if I just want to run a boys group, I can just segregate with smoke suite. If I just want to run a girls group, I can just give a regression suite. If I want to run everything, I just give this entire QA circle name. Okay. So this is my entire testing.xml file. This is very useful to manipulate things. Okay. Manipulate is maybe a negative word, or it is very helpful to segregate what we want to run. Pick and choose, guys. Okay. Now, let us see what we can pick and choose. So, can I, how do I write smoke? How do I write regression? I'll just give it to you guys. Okay. Let me go here. Close this. Okay, let me put this one so that we'll pick and choose what and all we'll do here. Let me close this also. Let me close this also. Now, let me add this. First, do we need a main method when we have annotations?
No, sir.
No. Now, I'll just use web driver. Okay. If you want to put static, we can put it as static. Let us put static only for our convenience. Static web driver. So I'm using before class, after class, everything. Okay, wait. Over it. Web driver can't be resolved. Why? Okay. Just a second. Sometimes my browser gets stuck. So it happens with the Windows laptop. So whatever I teach, that's from Eclipse at least, from a Mac. So that's why it's a continuous study. If I would have used Windows to explanation and also the recording wise, it would have been a disaster. Let's wait for a second, guys. Till that, any doubts? Okay, finally. Good. Let me add the declaration. Now, can I use before class? So I'll show you what exactly I'm doing. Okay. Let me add setup. Now, let me add this annotation. Import. Let me import it. Now, let me stop the share. Let me go to the recording or the stop sharing. Let me go to the file again. Okay. To show you guys. Entire screen. Okay. Always, I've already shared with you guys this file. See here. Before our unit test, this is the test we're executing. Before test will execute, before method will execute, before class, before suite. Always you have to remember this. Before suite, every before will execute before the test case. Every after will execute after a test case. Okay. You can use before class, before test. If you have n number of Java files, we can manipulate before suite, etc. That we'll see on the Monday when we are doing the entire framework execution. Okay. That we'll see slowly. But just understand this diagram. Before suite, before test, everything. This file is already shared with you guys. Okay. Go through it. All the PDF files, please go through it. Okay. I have shared in the always in the WhatsApp group and also our notes drive. Okay. Let me stop the share. Now let me share the screen. So whenever you're finding any issues or doubts, please let me know, okay? Because this is very, very important. As you know, everything is Java. Everything in Java is very important. Now, how to give groups? Here, if I just write open and close bracket, groups, here, do you think like launching browser should be common for smoke and regression? Or it should not be common? Launching and closing browser.
It should be common.
It should be common.
Common.
Is common? Yes, good. So then we'll write smoke, then regression. So it should be common, like launching the browser. Okay, let me copy it to save the time. Let me copy it till let us not maximize it. Let me copy it till this point. Driver. So also we'll try to log in also. Okay, let me copy the log. Okay. Let me add this file logger. All right. So again, for all the tests, login is very common, right? So after the login, whatever we do, it should be specific for the test. Login should be common, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let me take the login code also. I should be there somewhere here. Okay. Let me take the login code. Here, password is entered, and you have to type here. So I'm just using it here. Now, you just see I'll be using all the implicit weight than the hard weight. Now, this is the hard weight. We don't want hard weight. We'll just be using implicit weight. When you say implicit weight, it's a dynamic weight. Wherever thread.sleep is there, slowly by slowly, our program optimization will increase. Okay. So these all will come under before. For every test case we execute, we have to launch the test case, launch the browser, maximize. We'll not maximize it. We'll see parallelly everything. We'll use timeout, username, password, everything, submit. Good. Now, what is the first scenario? I want to make dashboard appear. So I have to click the dashboard. Okay. And I have to make sure dashboard appears. How to see the how to inspect it, guys? Inspect.
Right click inspect.
Right click inspect. Okay. Now let me minimize this. Okay. Now if I click on here, this is nothing but span dashboard. Okay. Now can I use like this control F /span text equal to dashboard? Can I write like this? Yes or no? It is identifying.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me copy this. Let me put in our test. I'll just add it here. Okay. So that I'll not forget it in future. Now, I want to validate the same screen as open. Can I just copy this? Can I see H6? The same, can I put H6 here? Is it working? Is it working fine? Okay. So let me copy this. Let me add it to our program. Now, can I create a smoke suit? So 2 smokes and 3 regression I'm adding to. So when you add test, what annotation I have to use?
Test.
Test. Okay. @test. So again, I am using dot star. So when you use dot star, everything which should be calculated. So now I have to add this one also. So public void validate dashboard. Sorry. Validate dashboard. Now I can use this log I'll just add it here. Validating dashboard screen. And also I have to do what, guys? First I have to click. Okay, let me copy this, let me enter it here. Now instead of this, I'll just copy this one. Okay, so should you send the keys or click?
Click.
Click, right? So let me click. So I have to add a method that dashboard tab is clicked. Is clicked. And also this is smoke suite, right? Now see here, for smoke suite, we have to take, like, copy the entire thing and group it by smoke suite. Only smoke. So then what we have to use? We have to remove this. We have to remove this also. So this should only execute if the group is smoke. Now just copy this one also. Now we have to make sure this other one is displayed. Let me click here. So I'm using XPath, guys. You can use CSS selector, which one you like. That is not an issue at all. So I'm very familiar since I've used XPath totally most of my career. I'm using it. It is your wish totally. Okay. So dashboard screen is displayed. Okay. Now I want to execute this. Okay. One more thing I'll do. Quit browser quit should be common for regression and smoke, or only for smoke?
Common for both.
Common for both. Okay, let me copy this. It should be after class. So I'll just write a good name and then just write after. It should be at the rate. Annotation should always be at the rate after class. I'll just write maybe quitting browser or tear down, something like that. Okay. Only thing I have to do, I have to close the browser. I'll just copy this. Let me end it here. Should be closed. On, and I'll use driver dot quit. Okay. Now, okay, let me close this. That's it. Now, I'll just manipulate a test.ng file. I will remove everything else. Okay. I'll remove these two things. I'll just put smoke. Okay. When you just put smoke, and when you running this, run as test.ng, guys, you see what will happen. It should run or not,
Yes, sir.
because we are giving smoke and our test for smoke. You see, it should properly log in. It will click the dashboard and it will close. Now it pass. Now if I just add it here, if I remove smoke, okay, I'll just remove the smoke, and also I'll remove the complete suite. Now only regression is there. Okay, only regression is there. So in regression, this test should not run. Only it should. Sorry, what is this? Okay. So in regression, this should not run. It should not click at all. So if you see now in the, okay, let me execute. Run as, okay, maybe like here as just run as test in the suite. It should not click the dashboard. If the dashboard is already selected, it would have clicked. Else it will not. See, nothing ran. Nothing ran. Only, wait, smoke. Also, I have to give this one also. Wait. So you get smoke regression, smoke regression, grouping tests. Okay. So see the result also. Okay. If you go here, emailable report, open with web browser, it should give you. Okay. Let me run it properly now. Wait. Smoke suite, everything is there. Okay. Let me add one more test so that we'll see it properly. Same test I'm executing twice or thrice. Let me give a right click, run as test in the suite. Okay. So we ran two tests. Smoke we ran, complete thing we ran. Okay. Now, if you see the result, because test is only there for smoke, not for regression. See, these are all before class is not test case. After class is not test case, but it should run. Only test will be a test case. If I go here, emailable report, it should properly show smoke and test. See, smoke test which showed, and also compute test. Yes or no, guys? One, see, smoke suite, one passed. Regression suite, nothing because we haven't added test, add the suite. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now let us expand our program. Now, what I told, we have to also see. So admin 1, 2, 3. Now, let us take everything. Okay. Close this, guys. Now, let me click on admin. Let me inspect it. Am I going fast, guys? You guys understanding? Yes or no? Tough one, easy. Is it tougher, guys? Am I audible? Am I audible, guys?
Yes, sir.
So understanding, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now let me see whether I can click on admin. So tell me, how do I get the expert of this particular thing?
Double slash
Okay.
span
Text.
equals admin.
Okay, good. See, it identified. So we'll click this. We'll go to the program again. We'll save it somewhere. Okay. We'll add all the programs. Now, I want to also see this particular page is opened. Now, it is H6 again. How do I see this one? What I have to see? Can I just add H6? It's working?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me copy this. Let me save it here. So I'm just adding my test case, guys. So in future, this won't be this easy, but we are just manipulating. Okay. I want to click on PIM. So again, PIM is also span. So if I just add Control F here, instead of H6, is it a span? PIM. Correct? Can you just copy PIM here? So it will be H6 again. H6. So not capital, small. I'll just go to the program. I'll just go to the website. H6 will be the PIM. Now, let me click on leave. The same thing, guys. Span as leave and H6 as leave. Let me click on time. Spam has time. Span has time. And span has H6 as this. So leave, PIM, and time. Let me copy this. Okay. So it should be leave. It should be time. Okay. Now this one admin, I'll put it as a test of smoke. Yes or no? Validate admin. Okay. I want to validate admin. So I'll take this admin here, span. And this one should be admin. That's it. And I'll write admin tab is clicked. Admin screen is displayed. Now, let me copy this. Let me know if I'm going faster, guys. Okay. I'm just trying to do simple task. Okay. These three, I'll take it as regression. Okay, guys. Sorry, not this one. Okay, this one only. So regression. So validate PIM. It should be PIM. It should be PIM. So understanding, guys, easy, tough. I'll share this thing to you guys. You guys can play around. Okay. Let me put time. I'll just put time and I can close it. Okay. Again, it will take much of your time, and I don't want your time to be wasted. You guys have to practice all these things. Validating time screen is displayed. Okay, this I'm putting validating time screen. Validating PIM screen. Validating admin screen. Okay, shall I run this? All the things, groups. Shall I run now? Okay. So I'll try to run from here so that you guys can understand properly. CLS now. So I have to give like this: D surefire suite XML files test in XML. Now just see the screen. There should be n number of browsers launched or not. Let's see. One browser. You should see. It should click on PIM. Done. In the browser. So it clicked on admin and done. PIM and done. Leave and done. So one was for regression, one was for smoke, and one was for entire thing. Okay. Now let me see my result. So just to see the result, go to test output, right click, open with browser. See? Okay, I'd have to refresh it. I have to refresh. How to refresh the project. Now, let me open this. Open with. Oh, did it not execute? Okay, regression didn't execute, is it? Oh, we missed something, guys. Smoke, orange charm cooking test, good. Regression, orange charm cooking test. Okay, so let me execute once more. Okay, let me execute from here. Right click, run as test engine test. I want to see everything. Let's see. So only ran dashboard admin time PM. So dashboard admin time PM. Good. It only ran this. Just a second. All right. So any doubts, guys? Any doubts? So regression suite, everything you can see here. Complete. Open with web browser. 3 times or 3 exceptions. Okay. There is some issue. Let me check on that. But till this point, you understood, guys? Manipulating the test.ng file, adding all the logs here. If you see, all the logs should be added properly at the end. So times browser is closed, time validating PIM, dashboard, admin, etc. Everything ran properly. Before class, test. Ding. Any doubts, guys? Anything else? If I give like this more, it should execute more. So any doubts, guys? Is
Sir, I
running
have a doubt.
properly? Yeah, go on.
So in this testing XML, so
Hmm.
we are given three suites, correct, like smoke, regression, and complete orange HRM. So
Hmm.
now if you are running, it should run smoke, regression, and complete everything, all the three suites it will execute.
It should run. It should run. If I give like 3 times 3 tests, no, it should run regression, smoke, and also this. It should run three more times extra. 3 times smoke, 3 times regression, 3 times then complete test.
So while running smoke, the method which we gave in smoke will run. For regression, what we gave inside regression will run.
Yes.
So while giving grouping test, so everything will run once again.
Everything will run. So grouping will make sure all the tests run irrespective of smoke regression. So yeah, here I gave thrice, right? Just to make sure everything is working fine. Let's say run as test ng. You should see it should have 3 times execution of test ng things.
But now it ran only once, no, sir.
Yeah. You see now it is a dashboard, admin, so it's running, right?
Yes.
So this is the same. See, it is now PIM. This is the regression suite. One more test case. Yeah, you should see in the left hand side, so it will understand properly. Now it is admin, dashboard. Now this is a PIM. This is a complete test case. You can see 8 test runs, 8 passes, 0 failures. All the things are added. So twice it ran smoke, regression, and also the test. If you see the output, it should be like this. Emailable report, it should have executed regression also. But if it's not coming, then I have to look into it. I'll check into it. See, it ran smoke twice, this also twice, regression smoke, totally 4. Regression suite, smoke, regression, smoke, regression. So it ran 4 times. Total 8 test cases, 8 test cases have done. So in smoke only while that mean dashboard, in regression, okay. 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 In regression, it is valid PM, valid time. Is it visible or okay? In test, it is 4, running twice. That's what I gave, no? Twice it has to run. Or thrice I have gave up. Thrice it has to run. 4 times. Okay. Any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay. So this is how the reports look like. In future, if you want to have nicer reports, extend report, everything is there. That also I'll teach you, not an issue. But any doubts in TestNG? We have few more things to complete. I'll not extend the class. Maybe you can guys can take time. We'll go slow in Selenium. I want you guys to totally understand everything. Okay. So anyone guys, any doubts you have the entire test case?
Sir, I have one more doubt.
Yeah.
So the testng.xml, that grouping suite, no, sir. So you have given it 3 times.
Yeah.
So it will run smoke, regression, and here it will run smoke and regression 3 times, right?
So if you remove all two, no? Okay. So this is just running a test case. Okay. So if you give here, let me remove, right click, testng, what is run as testng suite. It should run smoke regression. That's it. Once. Okay, so it ran.
I think it first ran smoke, then regression, then smoke and regression.
Okay, first it ran username admin and dashboard. So this is smoke. Okay, so validating PIM screen, this is regression. So totally 8. If we give 8 tests here, so this is 1. So totally 4 are there, no? 2 smoke, 2 regression. So running regressions. Okay, so we are telling this one, this test case to run only once. To smoke 2 test cases, regression 2 test cases. That's it, correct only, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And if I give one more, I think it is not running second time the same test. Okay, let's see. If I give 2 times, it should run 4 smoke, 4 regression. That's it. No? Wait, not here. I have to give.
I think it has to run 12 times.
Okay, it has run 12. Okay, let's see. If I give it here, so smoke should be 2 plus 2, 4. Regression should be 4. It should be 8 times now. Right? 8 and this 8 times, which is 16. Huh? Let's see. Or maybe my calculation might be wrong. Let's see. So run as test in the suite. It also depends on how fast is your internet connection. Let me put this down. No. Okay. Putting this down only is better. Okay, it is not finding the browser. Okay. It happens sometimes. That's totally fine. So let me stop it. Let me run it again. Okay. Okay. Just let me run it again. Right click. Run as test in the suite. Okay. So it ran 8 only. So maybe there is a mistake. Okay, let me check on that. Why it's maybe the same test case, it will not run, is it? Okay. Let us give some more test case. Okay. But if I give another, will it work? So first test ng. Okay. Let me give a different one. Let's see whether it will. Of course, smoke and regression are not there here. Okay. It is just a simple test class, before test, after test. Okay, let me run this. Now, if I just run testing.xml, run as this, let's see how many it should. So if it gives same test, maybe it's not running. Let's see. Because we have given at the rate before class, after the class, right? Same class it is running. Let's see. So now it started first test ng also. So I took one more. Smoke, regression, complete, and first test NGOs. Yeah, I think if you take only one, it is not running more than once. And that it makes sense also, right? You'll only run one class once only. Yeah, maybe that is the case.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Any more doubt, guys? Are we good? Good with SNG today's class.
So please share the code so that we can practice.
Yeah, I'll share the code in WhatsApp. I think that is the way you guys are easy taking, right? I'll share the code in WhatsApp. Tomorrow afternoon or by evening, I'll give you two assignments based, two or three based on the locators. You have to try and find the locators. Okay, based on the test ng. Few things will manipulate here and there. So this one just like we have completed two test ng classes, two or three locator class and one Selenium class. Okay. So yeah, let me stop the share. Let me stop the recording.